Thank you very much. Yeah, like you said, I arrived yesterday, and I really love Victoria. It's quite very calm, and yeah, the opening ceremony was actually very, very great. I love the film that I saw. I think it's a documentary, and the question and answer at the end by the director was quite very, very insightful. First of all, I always like to say like all the colors of the world are between black and white. Started as a love story to Lagos, because again, I grew up in a very small village outside of Lagos. On getting to Lagos, I was quite bamboozled. I was intimidated by that city, but again, a personal event happened to me. I reconnected with my old friend of mine that was lynched and killed, and immediately the story has to change, and I decided to tell the story of two guys that are in love, and I think the most important thing, of course, is to explore the characters, because you have a situation whereby in most Nigerian films, probably African films generally, when you have queer characters are always depicted as like caricature, they are not like full-blown character, and I decided to do something like that, love is love is love. I mean, it's been amazing, and I always get surprised whenever people see the film and they can relate with it in any part of the world, because again, I started telling that story from my own point of view. It's a film that I want to watch, so I've gotten a lot of positive feedbacks, and again, and I think the most important part of it all is the fact that, it always starts conversation, because suddenly people are now interested in this kind of story. They don't want to know more about it. They want to know the situation of things in Nigeria as far as, the homosexuality and queer community generally. A whole lot of parts of the world, even the United States as well, there's a sort of, hostility against, same-sex relationship and love affair. And Nigeria is not an exception, in that regard. But to me, what really drew me to this kind of story, to want to tell this kind of story in this environment, is the fact that there are people like that. It's not just an exception. It's a story of people, of love, generally. Even though people might be, in a way against it, and of course, homosexuality is criminalized in Nigeria by 14 years imprisonment, which I think is quite absurd. I mean, I think it's just such an important thing to do, to have diverse story generally that speak to the African minds, that speak African situation and what is going on. And I think it's quite very interesting, because again, most of the film occupies a lot of spaces, and they're very little opportunity for African stories to be told. So the festival is a great opportunity to exhibit such stories, such movies.